there, my name is Miss Emily, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about how to use our Boulder High School library databases for research. So, by this point, you should have already watched our short introductory video about what databases are. So now we're going to move in a discussion of why we might want to use our Boulder High School library resources. So these days, it is super easy to find all kinds of sources on Google, on social media sites, on all those different kinds of things. So why should we care about the resources that we provide here at the library? Well, first of all, when you are using our databases, you know that you are always going to be getting accurate information. It is someone's job to vet every single source that makes its way into our online databases. They make sure that the information is accurate, that it is written or created by people who are trusted and respected in their field. And in addition, we can guarantee that all of this information is coming from humans. There's no AI-generated content included in our databases. Now, as you know, AI is prone to making up information, right, or making claims that aren't exactly true. So we want to make sure that all of the information that is included in our research is going to be accurate and factual, and using our databases is a way to do that. Another benefit that our databases provide is easy citations. Our tools can help you automatically generate citations or even connect to Noodle tools if that's something you're interested in using, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later in our lesson. In addition, our databases have some very easy to use and access filtering tools so that you are getting search results that are exactly relevant to what you're looking for. This is possible to do on sites like Google, but it is a little less intuitive. And finally, it's free. These databases are relatively expensive, too expensive for a single person to purchase all on their own. But because we want to provide you with access to information that is high quality and accurate, we at the Boulder High School Public Library purchase access to these databases so that our students can use them for free. So might as well take advantage of this free resource. Now, let's give it a try. Let's visit our databases. I'm going to open up a new tab on my web browser, and I am going to visit this address, boh.bvsd.org. Once you arrive there, you'll be taken to the home screen of our website. What you're going to want to do is hover over this tab that says Library and select the option that says Research and Reference Databases below. It is going to navigate you to a page that is password protected. And the password for this page is going to be capital P Panthers with an exclamation mark. Once more, that's capital P Panthers with an exclamation mark. I recommend that you write this down so that you can access it whenever you need it. Once we get that password in, it is going to take us to our Research and Reference Databases page. And here you will see all of the options that we provide at Boulder High School. Some of these are going to be newspapers like the Daily Camera, the New York Times, the Atlantic. Others are going to be other resources like consumer reports where you can read reviews, or Noodle tools, our citation tool. But today we're going to be focusing on our Research and Reference Databases. Those are going to be Gale in Context, EBSCOhost, and JSTOR. Now, we don't have time to talk about all three of these today, so we are specifically going to focus on JSTOR because it is especially good for doing research on social sciences. Now, everything I teach you about filtering, about making good searches, is going to be applicable to our other databases like EBSCO and Gale in Context. And if you have interest in using those, feel free to come talk to us at the library anytime and we can help you get set up with those databases. But for today, we're just going to focus on JSTOR. Now you will notice that there is a username and password below. On some devices, you will have to enter the username and password, whereas on other devices, once you click this JSTOR icon, it is going to automatically log you in to our Boulder High School database account. Once the page loads, you are going to see a nice little search bar on the top. And like Google and other search engines, you will be able to simply type in here and begin your search. Now, there is a slight difference when searching on our databases compared to when we are using sites like Google. Now, Google is very, very good at interpreting what we call natural language searching. Natural language is how you and I might talk to each other. We talk in full sentences with lots of connecting words like what and where and like and as and if, and all of those things can sometimes confuse the search engine on sites like JSTOR. Now, it is getting better and better each year, but sometimes when we type an entire question into the search bar, it can get a little confused. So while you might be able to give a search like this a try, it will certainly get some relevant results from searching a whole question. The computer is going to understand you just a little bit better and get slightly more relevant results if you are using fewer of those connecting words in your search. So when you are doing searches, I strongly recommend getting rid of things like those question marks, those connecting words like and if and as, and also those question words like where and what and how. So as you can see, once I have eliminated those extra words, I am left with just the subjects that I am trying to search. Now that I have made this search, we can see that we have an absolutely incredible number of results, over 31,000. That is way too many results for a single person to sort through. That would take all day, and we absolutely do not have time for that. So what we are going to use are our search filters on the side here. This is going to help us ensure that we are getting much more relevant results and results that are usable for us. So let's see. Let's say that I am not especially interested in book chapters or research reports. I'm really only focusing on academic journals. In that case, I am going to click this option here, and the site is only going to show me those academic journals. Already we have fewer results to sift through. In addition, let's say that I am only interested in current articles. I want stuff from the last 10 years. I'm not looking into old data. So I am going to set my search limit from 2015 to 2025, stuff that was published within the last 10 years. Once I apply that, we are only going to see those current results. In addition, you can also filter by subject. Say you're only interested in American studies or anthropology. You can check those and it will only show you results from those disciplines. Since I am looking for results in English, I'm going to check this box for articles in English. And in addition, I want to make sure that I have this box right here checked. Content I can access. If you choose to see everything, it's also going to show you listings for articles that you can't view and you can't see. So make sure you have this bottom option checked and you can ensure that all of your search results will be viewable for you. Now, let's say that I am interested in the relationship between unemployment and fertility in Italy. I'm going to click on this article right here. And once the page loads, I will be able to see the full text for this article. Now that the page is loaded, we will see that the article is inside of this PDF viewer here where I am able to read the whole thing. There will also be some information about the article at the top. We can see when it was published, which volume, which journal it was published in, and we can begin reading through the paper for research. Although when I look at this paper, I see that it is relatively long. 40 pages is a lot for me to sift through all by myself. So I am going to use a strategy to see if it is the right article for me. Many papers are going to begin with something called an abstract, and this abstract is basically going to provide you with a summary of what will be included in the paper, of all of the information that will be inside. Now, based on this summary, I can make my best guess as to whether or not this article is going to contain relevant and useful information for me, or if it's something that I am not so interested in. Now, let's say that based on this abstract, I am interested in using this article. I have read through it and I have found some good quotes and some good information that's going to be useful in my research. Now that I have done that, I need to cite my sources, right? We want to make sure that we are properly crediting the people who came up with this information. So, I'm going to click on this little button here that says Cite. And we are going to see a number of different automatic citations that have been generated for us by JSTOR. Now, I will say, these are not always perfectly accurate. These citations often have issues, so it is always a good idea to check them against citation guidelines from organizations like OWL. Now, if I am using MLA for this class, I can simply click the button on the side here that says copy, and the citation will be instantly copied to my clipboard, where I can paste it into my Google Doc or anything like that. If you are currently logged into Noodle Tools on a separate tab, you can also click this button here, and your citation will be automatically exported to Noodle Tools. With that, let's begin our research process. From here, please open up a tab of the Boulder High School website on your device. Navigate to our research and reference databases. Use that password, capital P Panthers, and let's begin searching for those sources on our JSTOR database. Thank you all so much for listening, and please feel free to come visit me at the library anytime for research help or with any questions that you might have. Thank you all so much.